guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a chatty get ready with me, but I'm not going to chat as much about the makeup or about random topics. In fact, I have a very curated list of things I want to share with you, and these are all hot takes. Hot takes, if you don't know what that term means, it's like a jargon almost, related to the beauty community, or I think not even beauty community, but I think social media in general. And hot takes are basically unpopular opinions, to put it very simply. So basically today I'm going to share some of my unpopular opinions, which I don't know, some of these might not be as unpopular as I think they might be, but still I wanted to share them with you because I still think that majority of people still need to understand these specific things, and I want to know whether you guys agree with me, disagree with me. So yes, feel free to let me know whatever your thoughts are, whether you agree or disagree with me down below in the comment section. I would love to have a chat. And I posted a video recently, I want to say in present day obviously, where I was sharing similar such very brutally honest thoughts and opinions that I have. And yeah, some of you took it really well, which I'm very happy about. We did not have any sort of negativity on that video, at least not as of yet. So I'm really happy that you guys are also enjoying these kind of chats with me, and honestly I love doing them too. So let's dive right into it. Let's get started, and I'm just lining up all my makeup so that I can do that while I talk to you guys. So the first thing, and I feel like this is what kind of inspired me to, like, you know, start creating this list even in the first place, of things that I wanted to share, or like pointers that I had, and that was related to perfumes. So I feel like it's going to be very interesting. So I think that people don't spend money on perfumes in general, and I am not talking about us here who are beauty beauty fanatics or beauty enthusiasts, or even if you are not into makeup and skincare but maybe you love fragrances. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about like 90% of the population who are not into these things. So if you say go to college, go to office, like the people around you who are not into these things, usually I don't see people wearing perfume. At least I mean, I live in Mumbai, so it's not even like I live in a small town or anything, but when I am traveling every day or when I'm going to work, I don't smell a lot of people wearing perfume. Like even in my office there are like 2 or 3 people I think who wear perfume every day, but most people don't. And I think that is got something to do with the fact that you can't really smell yourself after some time wearing perfume. And I think that is the reason why people don't spend a lot of money on perfume. I mean, I think there are people who own body mists, pocket sprays, that kind of thing, because when you're in a public setting you don't want to stink. But those things like the pocket sprays, the body mists, etc., they fade pretty quickly. So I mean, I can still smell people around me in the in the metro, in the train, in the bus. Like people around me stink, and that is a big pet peeve of mine. Honestly, it's a big pet peeve, is if someone is next to me and they're stinking. I cannot tolerate it. It's just I'm sorry if I sound like a like a snob or something like that, but I just cannot tolerate bad smells. And so I've also been thinking about this. Like a lot of the perfumes which I own are not very expensive, but at the same time, like on a day-to-day basis, if I spray perfume on myself in the morning, I really don't smell it that much throughout the day. I think people around me smell it, because even recently when I was using my Hugo Boss the scent, I got complimented by a couple of people at work actually, saying that, oh, you smell really good. And I was like, oh wow. And then I think there was another perfume, I can't remember which one it was, which I also got a couple of compliments on. Some of my friends actually loved Miami Nectar, which I bought the full size of recently. So yes, That is that in terms of my opinion on fragrances. But let me know if you guys agree with that or not. But yeah, I think because people, I think if people could smell their own fragrances for longer, and also if you can smell yourself smell bad, basically, like if you can smell yourself stinking, uh, then I think people would actually realize how pathetic it is, and they would, you know, keep it in mind that I don't stink, basically. So they would do something about their own body odor, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let me know. Let's move on to the next point, because yeah, we should keep going. I have 4 more points to cover. Okay. Now this is controversial for me to say, because I might come across as a hypocrite. So let me explain myself. I think people enjoy doing an elaborate skincare routine, and I'm talking anything which is more than 3 to 4 steps, because of the self-care aspect of it. Like, I don't know how many people do 7-step, 8-step, 10-step skincare routines every single day, but if they do, they could not be doing it every day unless and until they have a lot of time. And I think it's got like a self-care aspect to it. Like, no one's actually going to notice that much of a difference, like a real difference I'm talking about. I mean, in the moment, yes, if you put 10 different products on your face, you are going to look like, you know, the glass skin effect and everything. But skincare and the elaborate steps that people do is either, they might actually believe that it's going to yield them good results, but at the same time, I think they just, like, if you do skincare, you know the process of applying the products and massaging it and blending in. It's very therapeutic, very like good to unwind, basically, and do those kind of things. So I think people do elaborate steps more for the self-care aspect and not so much to get results, in my opinion, personally. But there is actually no other difference that you notice in your skin if you do 3 to 4 steps versus doing 7 to 8 steps. You're not going to notice an actual difference in your actual skin, like in terms of the results. That's what I feel personally. And I also think that now it becomes like kind of easier and easier to eliminate steps. Like, even for me personally, my skincare routine has 2 to 3 steps, usually, depending on whether it's day or night, and I can eliminate that further if I want to. Like, I could easily skip a serum step if my skin, like if I don't have any hyperpigmentation, I could skip my serum step. Even when it comes to moisturizer, like recently, I've been thinking about it. If I only put a sunscreen on my skin in the morning, and if I don't use a daytime moisturizer at all, it could actually work, you know. Like, a sunscreen is also a moisturizer in a way, you know, with UV filters. Basically, there is no real difference apart from that in a moisturizer and a sunscreen. So I could skip a serum if I wanted to. I even could skip moisturizer if I wanted to. I could just use sunscreen in the morning on a clean, dry face, and then at night I would probably do a retinol and a moisturizer. Or if I found a really good retinol moisturizer, I could honestly even skip that and do just 1 step at night, and my skin would still look the same like it does right now, and I would save on time. So there is that. Okay, now this one, I think most of us at this point know, but and again, I'm also one of those people who is the problem over here, but we all know that no one needs 10 blushes, 20 bronzers, 50 eyeshadow palettes. Maybe 50 is a little too much, but even like 10 eyeshadow palettes, that's still a lot. That is still a lot, because let's be honest, I don't know how many people actually use different makeup every single day. Okay, like, I also felt like I should, because I have so many products, But at the same time, I mean, the reason I've started doing like my weekly or my bi-monthly makeup capsule collection sort of situation, or like a certain specific look, like even the look I'm doing today is basically the same look which I showed you in my this is the routine I'm going to do for the next 2 weeks basically, that kind of video. It's a shorts, by the way, it's a series of shorts. So I mean, no one really has that kind of time to basically think about, okay, what product should I pair together and how should I curate them, etc, etc. And I mean, how diverse would your collection even be if you had so many products? Like, there are only so many shades of blush, there are only so many bronzers. I mean, I think even having 1 or 2 bronzers is enough if you have the right shade. If you don't have the right shade, then probably give it away, throw it away, declutter it, and get the right shade. And once you have the right shade, you don't need to have multiples. And as someone who has bought quite a few blushes, bronzers on my US trip, and then in terms of lipsticks, I feel like I have curated my collection quite a bit, but still I am also someone who has way more than I need, but that also makes me realize that I have way more than I need and no one actually needs so much. So I think we all need to realize that if we have one product even in every category, it's enough. And maybe you want to buy a few more, and define what number that should be. But then beyond that, we don't need any more. We truly do not need any more than that, because all these aesthetic videos that you see online, on Instagram, on maybe even YouTube, I don't know, make you feel like, oh wow, that looks so pretty, even I want to have that. But to have that, you not just end up creating that aesthetic, which you can totally do, that's fine, but don't hoard products that you don't actually use. Because I mean, I'm trying to use up my bronzer, even my blush for that matter, for so long, and I haven't even hit pan. I mean, the Essence one I've hit pan on, but like the ELF one also I'm using for such a long time now, and I'm nowhere near finishing it up. So that's that. Moving on. Now this is kind of career related, and it is something that I have spoken very openly to my friends, even like, my team members at work, like anyone in my personal life who I come across, I share this with them. Truly as like a, as a friend, or as an older sister, or as a mentor. And I don't think I've spoken about this maybe online, but I figured I should, because this is truly an unpopular opinion. When it comes to whatever industry you're working in, whatever company you're currently working at, if it's a good company, if the ethos, if the people, if who you're working for, like your manager, head, etc., are good people, choose that and stick with that company, because you're working for good people, over money, over if you don't get a good hike, for example. Because I know my appraisal is due, a lot of other people's appraisal is also due. I think a lot of companies do their appraisal probably in March, so I'm a little bit late on this, but I still think that everyone needs to hear this. If you did not get the appraisal that you were looking for, maybe it's a little bit less than that, maybe the company cannot afford to give you more, there might be various reasons related to that. I don't want to get into that, because I feel like everyone's situation is different. But even if you're getting paid a little bit less, in the long term, it's not really going to matter that much. There are other ways that you can grow your money, obviously through investing. If you have a good share market knowledge, you can grow your money through that. There is a lot you can do. But if you're working for a good company where the ethos is very good, stick to that company instead of switching and going to another company where you might get paid more, but the people might not really be that great. It will affect your mental health in general if you are not working for good people. And this is what I have personally realized through my experiences. I've also made those same mistakes, which is why I'm telling you this. I also talk to a lot of my friends, and they also share these things with me that, oh, the company I'm working for, it's really bad. Like, the money is good, but the company is really bad. My, boss is a ass. Complete the word. So many things. So I really feel like I should talk about this and tell you that. Let me put my lipstick on, and I'll also probably tame my hair, and I'll be right back, and then I'll tell you the last point and my last hot take basically. Okay, I'm done with my lipstick. This is Mona Lisa by Nykaa, the ultra matte lipstick. Where did I keep it? Yes, this one right here. This is Diana, which I accidentally picked up. What I have in my lips is Mona Lisa. I did my hair as well, and now we'll talk about my last and final hot take. And I just want to let you know, this is something where I am definitely a novice. I'm not an expert whatsoever. In fact, I am seeking help from other people who have way more knowledge than I do. But something that I have just gradually realized about losing weight, healthy lifestyle, all of those things basically in general, working out, etc. Obviously consistency is key, but if you are someone who is on a journey of losing weight like I am, diets are not really going to help you. I'm not saying that you should not be like watching what you eat. Like, don't eat everything that you want to eat and then work out and then not notice any results. Is basically because you're cancelling it out. If you're working out and you're eating junk, you're just cancelling out the effects, and that's why you won't notice any significant improvement. Whereas if you were eating junk and not working out, then you would increase weight, right? So basically that increase is not happening because it's getting cancelled out. But coming back, dieting in general and only watching what you eat and not working out is also not going to yield you any results. But any sort of diet that you do, if it's going to be for a short term period of time, like for example, okay, I'm not going to eat junk for a month, or I am not going to eat sugar for a month, any of those things. And it doesn't have to be a month, it could be even longer than that. Whatever you decide, any sort of diet that you do, if you don't keep up with it forever, basically till the end of time, it's not going to work, because you lose all the weight, but then the weight is going to come back when you finish your dieting period basically. So that is why I feel like, don't like start any diet which you're not going to keep this up forever. Basically, only do what is achievable and something that you can keep up with basically forever. Like, I would not give up eating pizza because I know that I cannot do this for the rest of my life. Pizza is the love of my life, and I just devour it whenever I get a chance. So now that what I do is I don't eat it as often. I'll eat it only maybe once a month, maybe eventually increase it a little bit further. I am also watching what I eat, in the sense that, for example, I'll try to avoid sugar wherever possible, but I have certain specific things which I really love when it comes to desserts, like brownies, like bombolonies, like waffles even, maybe for that matter, but waffles also I try to avoid wherever possible. So if there's a specific dessert that I really enjoy, I will only eat that. But apart from that, I'll cut out sugar everywhere else. Reducing how much candy I eat is also a big factor, and you can clearly see, I think, even if you are keeping up with my short form content, that I'm not eating candy as much, which is why you're not watching, which is why you're not getting any candy related videos recently on my page. But yes, the important part about whatever changes you're making in terms of your eating, lifestyle, working out, etc., All of that has to be something that's going to be very consistent. Also, when it comes to working out, like they say, you cannot work out, lose all the weight, and then stop working out. Whatever you do has to be consistent till the end of time, basically till the end of your life at least. And it can be modified in some way, shape or form, but it's only got to get better. It cannot slow down. Like, you cannot work out 6 days in a week till you lose weight and then eventually go back to like 3 days a week, because then you will again maybe regain some of the weight that you lose. So yes, that was my fifth and final tip, is that this whole diet fad that I see, it's really bothersome to me. And I feel like a lot of people around me also, who know that I'm trying to lose weight, kind of come and like give me the gyan and basically say that, oh, you should do this diet and that diet and stop eating rice and do this. And I'm like, I cannot stop eating rice. I'm a South Indian, like rice is in my blood, is what I tell most people. I love rice and I'm not going to be giving up that just to lose weight. I would rather cut down other things, like maybe cut down on the amount of cheese I eat, the amount of maida or bread that I eat. Those might probably be more helpful than cutting down on rice. I can reduce the portion size, but I'm not going to stop eating rice. Like, that's just not happening in this lifetime, for sure. So yes, whatever you do, be consistent with it, and don't give up anything that you're going to get back to eventually again after your dieting period is over. So that's my fifth and final hot take, which I wanted to share with you. Of course, like I said in the beginning, please let me know your thoughts on every single one of them down below in the comments. I really want to know. Of course, keep it respectful, please. That is all I can request you guys to do, because if I see a mean comment, either I'm going to come back at you or I'm going to delete it if it's like really nasty and I feel like there's no response to this. I will definitely delete those comments. But apart from that, I want this to be a respectful place where we can all share our thoughts and opinions on everything in a respectable way, basically. I think that's the best way to put it. So yes, that is it for the video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I cannot wait to read your comments down below and let me know whether you agree with me, disagree with me, all those kind of things. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in my next one. Until then, bye guys.